Okay, guys, listen. This is another zodiac ranking video because my rankings were weird last time because I just started looking into astrology and it was like we were quarantined, so I never got to apply them to actual people. And now that I've been out in the real world for a little while, I can actually, basically like pick on what pieces of personality that the zodiacs actually kind of take, you know what I mean? I've been able to observe like everyone in just like living their life. So, um, last time I did this, I did best, like my favorite to least favorite. This time I'm gonna switch it up. We're gonna start with my least favorite zodiac sign, 12th place. No surprise, it's Gemini. Um, Personally, I, I don't, listen, star signs for me are weird because I think that they don't, there's like a piece of, there's like a piece of it in everyone. It's not like, I'm saying like every single trait isn't every person's only trait. If that, I don't know. It apply like everything I'm trying to explain this. Like cancers are described as emotional, but not all cancers are like emotional, if that makes it. It's just like it describes there's like bits and pieces that describe everyone, but it's not exact is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, my least favorite sign is Gemini because I just think that Geminis, you know, the thing about them being two-faced, like it's not every Gemini is two-faced. This is just the talk we had. But I know a lot of Geminis are two-faced, or in better words, they adapt to their surroundings, I suppose, but it's kind of like they do this whole 180 on you. And I know a lot of Geminis are just liars. They lie all the time. They're filthy liars. Sorry my aggression came out. But I just think that, like, a lot of Geminis lie. A lot of them kind of, like, switch up their emotions. They, like, lead you down a certain path to believing, like, this is what they think, and then they can just switch that immediately, or, like, this is how they feel, and then they switch it. It's, like, crazy. I think that Geminis are just a little bit two-faced, but it's okay, because they embrace it, you know? 11th is Virgo, and Virgo dropped on my ranking. It's kind of weird. I think that I really liked the concept of Virgos, but when I start looking at them, it's like kind of weird. I think that they either have like high egos or they're very narcissistic, maybe. Not all Virgos, but I've noticed a lot of Virgos have a high ego for no reason. All the people who have like higher egos are like at the bottom of my list. Whoopsies. So, I don't know. I just, yeah, all the Virgos I kind of know in real life, I've noticed that they kind of like hold themselves higher than other people, if that makes sense. Not all of them, but okay. 10 is Leo. For some reason, I just can't really get attached to Leos. They're just kind of confident. That's their only trait that I really like happen to learn about them. I can't really tell you anything about Leos. They're just there based on like pure vibes. 10th place. Ninth place is Aquarius, and I do really like Aquariuses, but maybe I only like one certain Aquarius. But they have another high ego thing. They're very sociable and like leader-esque, if that makes sense. They get along with everyone, I think. But I think also they do have that high ego. Some of them do. But for no reason. But they do get along with people. They just kind of hold themselves up to a better standard. And sometimes that's fair, sometimes it's not, though. I think that they're kind of sociable people because, like, they want to not prove how better they are than other people. It's kind of like they just, like, I don't know. They just kind of show off a little bit, if that makes sense. But not all Aquariuses do that. But I like Aquariuses. I think I like their symbol, the little waves. Yeah. Winter birthdays, cool. Like, whatever. Eighth place is Aries, and okay, listen, it's gonna be really mean, but I think Aries, the personality, they're just kind of like background characters, or NPCs, basically. It's like, they're just fillers, if that makes sense. Not everyone. I think that Aries, they do have their, like, outstanding personalities, specifically some of them, but, like, a lot of them are just there in the background for no reason. Because I'm just saying, if you don't know someone's star sign, then they're probably an Aries, if that makes sense. I know a lot of Aries. They're just, it's so weird. They're all just kind of like, why is everyone born in, like, March? I don't know. So sorry to any Aries watching if you get offended. Seventh place is Sagittarius, and I really don't know anything about Sagittarius besides one article I read and Nicki Minaj's hit song Barbie Tings, where she goes Sagittarius, so you know I'm an optimist. But I know that they seek knowledge and they're kind of like wanderlusts. They want to travel. I respect that. That's why they're in the middle of the list. No, they aren't. They aren't in the middle of the list. But I don't know. I don't know that many Sagittariuses, except for Nicki Minaj. So they're just kind of neutral, if that makes sense. Sixth is Scorpio. Now listen, I used to hate on Scorpio, like, a lot. And I don't think it's that deserved. I think that Scorpios honestly get a bad rap. Okay, because, like, if you tell anyone you're a Scorpio or a Gemini, they kind of automatically hate you. But Gemini, it's kind of deserved. No offense. But I think Scorpios, they're just, like, they get a bad rep, and there's really no reason not to like them. I suppose some of them are liars. I actually don't know. But, like, the more I meet Scorpios, the more they just have a personality. Like, I think Scorpio got really high on my list because they bring spice, honestly, and it's not a bad spice. I think Scorpios are like this spice. But, like, no, I was gonna say salt. That's not a spice. Scorpios are like, maybe salt, I don't know. They're just, like, neutral, and, like, you can have too much of it. I have no idea where that metaphor was going. Scorpios, they just add a little flavor to any group. They're just so fun. I don't love Scorpios. That, you did not hear that coming out of my mouth. I just think Scorpios add a bunch of flavor, and they're, like, they add a good time. They just have a personality, and other people just aren't ready for that, and that's why they hate Scorpios. Anyways, fifth is Cancer. Now, Cancer, I don't know if they got a personality, but they are emotional. I think that some Scorpios are so in touch. It's like 10:30 at night. I can't do this. Cancers are, like, very in touch with their emotions. Some Cancers just pick an emotion, stick with it. You know what I mean? I know a bunch of Cancers that are just, like, angry. That's their only emotion, but I know that they show a lot of it. Cancers are just, like, all about emotions, showing their emotions, understanding their emotions, if that makes sense. Because I'm a Cancer. I have such an in-depth, like, analysis of the reason why I feel anything, if that makes sense. Fourth, Capricorn, and now I know what I said. that any like egotistical people are kind of on the bottom, but I think that Capricorns are like the right amount of egotistical and the right amount of just confident, like self-confident. I think that Capricorns just, did I say Capricorn? I don't, I think that Capricorns are just like, they're so, they believe, they're so self-confident, they're so like self-assured that they can say anything that they feel, and like they'll back it up themselves because they are like so self-assured is what I'm saying. Their opinions, they can back them up 100%. They're so strong in like what they believe that they push it and then you believe it, if that makes sense. If a Capricorn like came up to me and pushed like the Capricorn agenda onto me, I would believe it 100% because they are such like good convincers, I suppose, maybe. I just love the self-confidence. I just love how like strong, that's not really the word, but you know what I mean, strong, firm they are in their opinions and whatnot. I just love me a good Capricorn, honestly. Third is Libra. In my opinion on Libras are like the most likable sign, allegedly. I read one website. But I think that Libras, you kind of have a love-hate relationship with them. Nicki Minaj loves Libras. I think with Libras, it's kind of like a love-hate. Like, they're definitely, everyone likes them, but they do definitely have their moments, if that makes sense. I think that, like, Libras, they're, like, kind of on a love-hate scale. They're, like, on a love-hate scale where you, like, love them 90% of the time, hate them 10%, if that makes sense. Yeah, I just think Libras are very, like, basically likable, sociable, they get along with everyone. Second, my second favorite sign is Pisces. I love Pisces so much. They're like clairvoyance, if that makes sense. I love how like spiritual, not really spiritual, if that's not really the word, but like they connect with you on like a psychedelic level. I don't know if that's the word. It's like psychic. They're psychic. Pisces psychic. That made no sense. They both start with B's. But I love Pisces. I love how like, I don't know, they're just on this whole separate realm, if that makes sense. They're so like in touch with like, I don't actually know the word. It's not psychological. It's like psychic. That stuff. It's the same prefix, whatever. But I just love Pisces so much. And then first is Taurus, and there are some bad Tauruses out there, gonna be honest. But I think that Taurus is kind of, I respect that they look out for themselves and they're kind of like all about self-care and whatnot. And even if like you see a Taurus who's like really selfless or whatever, if that makes sense, not about self-care, like maybe they're doing that for themselves to make them feel better, if that makes sense. I'm talking about like Tauruses in relationships and how everyone's like, oh, they're not like self-obsessed. Maybe making other people feel good is what like gives them their self, not obsession. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but I just really respect that Taurus is, they're looking out for number one, baby, and that's themselves. I respect that. I respect the grind. And also love the bull symbol. I actually don't know anyone's symbols on here. Pisces is a fish. I love fish. Cancer's crab. I like crabs. I'm pretty sure fox is a Virgo. I don't know. I am actually not qualified to talk about any of this, but that's my ranking of the star sign.